And all the suffering indigenous populations in the damnable zoological republic are set free. Chineke na nke pụrụ ihe niile Chukwu okike abịa banye ndefe na aja aha nsọ ya mma mgbe niile. Onye ọbụla na ya na-achị eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya gị na ebere gị amara gị na ọmịiko gị ebe ndị gị na-eze ebe dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-etoghị agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro. Iwe nye anyị ndụ ala nke dị n'uwere n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-asị na ịja mma niile otu niile dịrị aha nsọ gị. Onye ọbụla anyị aka ike niile na ọ gbadara aka ya. Anyị wee na-akpọku gị na-asị gị na nke ọma anyị ga-ekele gị nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-eto gị wee na-asọpụrụ gị n'isi ụmụ gị niile bụ ndị ikwu ndị wee ezi oku mgbe a kpọrọ ha ka ha wee chekwaa ala nsọ gị bụ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na ihe ndị kwuru anyị nkwa na o mekataghị ka ndị iro wee were ala nsọ Biafra onye nwe m na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe agbanyeghị atụmatụ ọjọọ niile nke ndị iro ma ndị na-agba mgbọgba ebe niile dị iche iche onye nwe m na Chineke nna ihere bụ nke ndị dị etu a n'ụbọchị nke taa. Anyị wee na-eto gị wee na-asị onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na n'ụtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise ise ise.
This is no longer a time for us to be listening to blackmail. This is not a time for us to be listening to propaganda. It is high time for us to do that which is right. It is high time that we follow that which is right. Pursue the truth and follow the truth and continue to speak up for the people. Every Biafran today knows what is right and what is wrong. We know the truth and we have to continue following the truth. We have to continue to follow the truth. Every Biafran has to wake up. We have to wake up. Wake up now. If you are not waking up now, I don't know when you're going to wake up. We have to wake up. When you see, when we are saying that it is you that will free yourself, when we say that it is only us that can free Mazen Nandekan, and we say that nobody will fight for us, only us can fight for ourselves, some people think it's a joke. It is not a joke. It is not a joke. Today, when you look at the thing that is happening in Ukraine today, look at what is happening in Ukraine today. Just look at what is happening in Ukraine. After looking at what is happening in Ukraine, then you will see the reason why every Biafran has to wake up and prepare themselves for the worst. Now you know why you have to prepare yourself for the worst. Because we are dealing with people who don't have conscience. The world is rigged. The world is rigged against black people, against Biafra people. Everything in the world is rigged against us. No matter how we cry, no matter how we shout, nobody is going to come to our aid. Nobody is going to listen to us. And there is a way that these international communities are functioning that you fail to understand. Any place, any world power has an interest. Nobody can dare go into that area. All the security councils, members of security council, all those world powers, any place they have interest, none of the other security councils can come there and interrupt. They will not. They will only sit back and begin to make noise. You think they will do anything? They won't do anything. That is why we have to wake up and save ourselves. Nobody can save us. Nobody. I want you to learn from what is happening in Ukraine today. If you are a Biafran, any place you are a Biafran, and you support our freedom, learn from what is happening in Ukraine today. You see that the issue of Ukraine today, nobody is coming to their aid. Nobody is coming out today to fight for Ukraine. Nobody. Ukraine has all the connections. They have all the connections. The United Nations is backing them up. The EU is backing them up. US is backing them up. Every other nation, they are backing them up, but they are talking from distance. Nobody, none of them can come and support them and fight. They are on their own, fighting for themselves. They are on their own. With all the friends and connections they have, they are on their own. Russia is coming hard on them. That is one thing you have to learn. You as a Biafran, nobody is going to come to your aid. We have to fight our battle. The battle is ours. The battle is ours. Stop waiting for international communities to come and free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, or courts come and free, or our enemies to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. No. It is you, the Biafran people, that will take it upon yourself to begin to do things unimaginable. It is when we begin to do all those unimaginable things that you will see them begin to talk about the freedom of Mazen and the freedom of Biafra people. We have to get ready. Just look at what is happening in Ukraine today. When you look at what is happening in Ukraine, then you prepare yourself for what is about to happen in Biafra land. When you see what is happening, you prepare yourself for what is about to happen in Biafra land. Even as we are praying and hoping in God, we must all stand up and fight. All of us have hope in God. Our friend Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have said it. He doesn't worship idol. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu say, I don't worship idol. I worship Chuks. But even though Mazen Nnamdi Kanu prays 7 good times every day for you and I, still yet Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not relaxing. He is doing something, fighting. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is doing the needful. Israel, the way Israel are, Israel has been the promised child of God. Israel is a God-owned nation. God-owned nation, pronounced that we all know that they are God-owned nation, backed up by the supreme God. But yet, they are not folding their hand, waiting for God to come from heaven and fight for them. Israel are developing more and more in their technology. They have all manner of weapons you can think of. They have the best army in the world. Even though they have Chuks standing with them, they are the only people that Chuks mentioned as his own. But yet, they are not relaxing. They are fighting on different fronts. They have the greatest army. They have the greatest weapon. They are still manufacturing more weapons today. What does that tell you? That tells you that Chuks will not come from heaven and fight for you. He has given you the experience, the brain, and the knowledge. Every prayer we are praying on every day, Chuks is answering our prayer. He is answering. He is not silent. He has answered. Not even answering. He has answered already. The 150 days prayer that we made, Chuks answered. He answered us. The only thing that remaining now is in your hand, is in my hand, for us to defend ourselves. Why is it difficult for Biafran people to do the needful? Why are we complaining? Look at Ukraine today. Just take a look at Ukraine. The heavyweight boxer of Ukraine that has millions, he is a very rich man, very wealthy, a billionaire. He is in Ukraine fighting in the front, wearing uniform to fight. So many of their prominent men, the 2 heavyweight boxers, they are in Ukraine fighting along with their people. Some who are abroad are coming back home to fight along with their people. But Biafran people, our Biafran brothers and sisters, when they tell you to sit at home, only sit at home. We did not tell you to carry armored car to come and fight. We didn't tell you to carry AK-47. When they tell you to sit at home to make the world hear your voice and know your opinion, you refuse and you say no. You see some Biafran people, they will not support the struggle because of the useless business they say they have in the north. Because some Biafran feel that they have business in the north, they cannot support anything that has to do with Biafra. When you talk about Biafra, because of the useless hotel they have in the north, they will not support it. You see the politicians, because of their useless political position, because of their useless political, because of the 2023 presidency, Igbo presidency that they know that will not offer them anything. Igbo presidency that will make them a slave in the hand of the Janjaweed. Because of that, they will not support Biafra. These are the kind of people we are dealing with. In Biafra language, they are dealing with a bunch of people who don't have conscience. People who are only fighting for their own personal interests. Why is it that we cannot learn from other nations? Learn from what is happening to other people and prepare yourself for what is about to happen. Freedom is not given. Freedom is taken. I want you to look closely to what is happening in Ukraine. Look closely to what's happening in Ukraine. Nobody anywhere is coming to their aid. Nobody. You see all the kind of meeting. Go online. You see different kinds of meeting. United Nations have held a meeting. Security Council have held a meeting. EU have held a meeting. Every other organization have held a meeting on behalf of Ukraine. But did it stop the war? It didn't stop the war. Did they go to fight for them? They didn't go to fight for them. They are only talking about the economic sanction, economic sanction. You are giving economic sanction. Russia themselves have a way of giving their own economic sanction. And as they are giving the economic sanction, they are still talking about their own personal interest. And that is why you saw in their meeting where they were talking about Nigeria as one of the places they will have hope of getting their gas. Excuse me. They are talking of Nigeria as one of the places that will get gas. What gas does Nigeria have? The gas that the European Union are hoping on is the gas that is in Biafra land. They are hoping on the gas in Biafra land, and yet Biafran people are dying. They don't talk about it. They don't care about you and I. Everything they are pursuing is their own interest. And even if you check about some of them who are speaking for Ukraine issue, you think they are speaking on behalf of Ukraine. They are speaking for their own selfish interest. They are speaking for their own selfish interest. That is why Ukraine is crying and crying and crying. Nobody is coming to their aid. They are only talking online and shouting. This is a lesson for Biafrans. It is you and I as Biafran people that will secure ourselves. Nobody is going to free us from this trouble. Oh, nobody. Nobody anywhere. The enemy that we are up against, they are strong and terrible. They don't have conscience. And don't be deceived. The enemy we are up against are Britain. That same Britain that is occupying Biafra land today is talking about Russia occupying Ukraine. The same Britain that is occupying Biafra land, they are the same people coming out today to talk about occupation of Ukraine. That is the double standard. They are using the caliphate to occupy Biafra land. They are bombing Biafra land. They are taking the life of innocent people in Biafra land. They are destroying our properties, destroying our homes. Nobody is talking about it. International media, they are blank about it. Conventional media, oh, they don't talk about it. Even the politicians who are supposed to represent the Biafran people, they don't dare mention it because of their selfish interest. The world is operating on personal interest. Everybody on his own. Look at some people, simply because of their political career, they will never ever support Biafra. They don't even mention Biafra. But Arewa person, a Northern will call himself Arewa, even in the House of Assembly. They address it, they say, I'm from Arewa. They are proud to call themselves Arewa people. Our Ududua brothers will call themselves Ududua. They sing their Ududua national anthem in the House of Assembly. But when it comes to the Biafra people, oh, they are so scared. They are so scared of what they are getting. They are so scared of their bank account. They are so scared. They are so scared of their oppressor. They prefer to continue to worship the oppressor to maintain and keep the status quo, so that the account will continue to have money, so that they will continue to remain relevant in their political among their political elites. But to represent their people, for where they will never represent you. Therefore, we have to wake up. We are on our own. We are on our own. Watch closely what is going on in Ukraine. Nobody can come for you. It is you that will free yourself. Every Biafran, any place you are, it is you that will free yourself. Stop waiting for anybody from any planet to come and free you. Nobody from another planet will come and free you. Nobody from another planet will come and free Mazen Nadekan. The Janjaweed court cannot free him. We have seen the DSS cannot even obey the Janjaweed court, let alone listening to them. People who cannot allow Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to change clothes. They cannot allow the lawyers to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Are they the people you are hoping that they will give you freedom? How can you be waiting for your oppressor to give you freedom? It will not happen. Stop wasting your energy and your time. Biafrans will have to wake up. Now is the time to wake up and fight the last fight. Fight the best way you can. This is the time. This is the time for us to free ourselves. Free ourselves from this very captivity. We have to. We have to free ourselves from the hand of the enemy. Nobody is going to do it for us anywhere. Nobody from any planet is going to do it. It is you and I that will free ourselves. Borrow leave from Ukraine. Watch closely what is going on in Ukraine. Watch it closely, then you will realize that Biafrans have to wake up and prepare for the worst. I said it when we are entering 2022, that 2022 is going to be a very disturbing time. More evil is going to be happening. More terrible things are going to happen. More occupation. More blackmail. More blackmail. But the most disturbing are those people who claim to be Biafrans. You claim to be a Biafran. You claim to support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You claim to start with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But yet, you have nothing to offer. You are not doing anything to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You are not doing anything to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You claim to support Biafra. You claim to support Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You claim to stand with him. But you are not doing anything on the ground to make sure that your claim works. Excuse me, sorry, I'm having some running nose. But I have to continue. Ambazonia have moved multiple warship to Orisatokwe, the Biafran capital. Well, my brothers and sisters, Ikechi, we don't listen to propagandas or whatever. Focus, be focused, don't be distracted. Don't be distracted whatsoever, don't be distracted. If you're a Biafran and you're fighting for Biafran struggle, don't be distracted. Our Ambazonian brothers are doing a great job. On their own side, our Ambazonian brothers are defending themselves, doing the needful. They are doing it. They are doing what they're supposed to do. But we, the Biafran people, what are we doing? What are we doing? Let us focus on what to do. What are we going to do to make sure that you can see it that the Cameroon government is getting it hot from Ambazonians already. Cameroon government is getting it hot from Ambazonians. But for us, we are from Biafra land, Biafra people, what are we doing to make sure that the Janjaweed begin to feel the pain? We are not yet doing anything. I must tell you, we are not yet doing anything. We are supposed to intensify on things. We are supposed to upgrade. We are supposed to raise the bar. We are supposed to raise the bar to make these people know that it is not. It is to make these people pay dearly for holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We don't have to relate it our effort. It is being said and said again that until we make the Janjaweed know that it is expensive to keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in captivity than to leave him, it is going to be a difficult thing for us to get Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. We have to make this people begin to feel the pain, We have to make this people begin to feel the pain, know that it is not easy to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they will pay dearly. It is time we have to wake up and know that holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be costly for them. We have to rise up and wake up. We have to rise up and wake up and do the needful. Stop listening to propaganda and blackmail. Let us be focused. Stop listening to propaganda and blackmail and let us be focused. And we, Biafran, we know those who are working for the freedom of Biafra and the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We know them. And we know those who are after money. We know those who are chasing their own personal interests, pursuing money. We know those who are concerned about deception. We know those who are based on causing confusion. We know them. We have to stay away from those. Stay away from those people. Stay away from confused people who don't have anything to offer. Stay away from them. Be focused. Continue to be focused and speak about things that matters. Dear friends, our freedom is in our hand. Stop demonizing your own brother. Stop demonizing your own sister. If you don't have anything to offer anymore in the struggle, just step aside. Step aside. Relax. Cover yourself. Cover yourself. Relax. Don't do anything. Just cover yourself. But stop distracting those who are doing something. If you are exhausted, there's nothing in your brain anymore. There are still some people who have not utilized the things they have in their brain and they are willing to use them. Why don't you give them a chance to do something? If you are exhausted, thank you very much for the things you have done in the past. Thank you for the effort you have done, for how far you have worked with us up to this stage. If you are exhausted, just step aside and relax. Don't discourage others. Don't talk down on people. Don't blackmail people. Just go and sit down. Nobody's forcing you. Give way. But for you to be standing in between, you don't have something to offer, you don't want to go out, and you don't want to come in. You are even much dangerous. You are more dangerous than the janjaweed. You are much more dangerous than the janjaweed. Much dangerous than janjaweed. The Biafran struggle is in our hand. Our freedom is in our hand, and it is only us and us alone can be able to take our freedom. Nobody will give it to us at the platter of gold, and freedom doesn't come easy. Freedom comes with sacrifice. You can see Ukraine are paying their own price. They are paying the price. They are paying their own price for freedom. Nobody is coming for their help. They are standing and fight for themselves. You and I have to prepare to do the same. We will fight our fight and free ourselves from captivity. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for what is coming. Prepare yourself for the worst. Prepare yourself for the terrible days ahead. You can see what is happening in Ukraine today. It's a distraction also. You see the Janjaweed, they are shamelessly coming to tell Russia to leave Ukraine. Shamelessly coming to tell Russia to leave Ukraine. Even when they are occupying Biafra land. They are occupying Biafra land and they are shamelessly coming out to tell Russia to leave Ukraine. How can you... This is the problem in this very world, in the planet Earth today. People are so shameless. People are so shameless. So deceitful. That they will be doing exactly the same thing, the thing they will be doing. That is what they will be accusing somebody of. What they are doing is what they will be accusing somebody else. Shamelessly. They don't have shame. The same thing we are having in IPOB today. You will see people accusing innocent man, innocent woman, accusing people, innocent people, even when they know that their accusation hold no water. You have no evidence. You accuse somebody without providing any single evidence. And those who have evidence against them, those who you can see evidence for, those who have confessed of their own evil, you are still supporting them. You are still supporting people who have confessed their own evil by themselves. They have confessed of their own evil. The evidence against them is overwhelming. They don't deny it. But still, you are supporting them. Then those who there is no evidence against them, you are blackmailing them. Every blackmail you are presenting, there's no evidence to support it. Still, you are shamelessly coming out to broadcast and call those people's name. I thank Chuks and for our brother Salmon Ekpa for standing firm up to this minute. It is only Chuks that is holding Salmon Ekpa. It's not everybody that can stand what he's going through. With all the blackmail and all the attack from east, west, north and south, if he is not strong and he's not genuine, he would have fallen aside long time ago. If Salmon Ekpa was not genuine, he would have fallen aside long time ago. But because he's genuine, every propaganda and blackmail that bring upon him is like pouring water on a stone. All is just fade away. All will fade away. Most time, even when everything they say, they themselves will debunk it by themselves. See? I don't know why you are writing what you're writing. You say your name is Ikechi or what? Ikechi, I don't know your opinion. I don't know the angle you are coming from. I don't know where you are speaking from. I don't know where you belong. I don't know, Ikechi, from your write-up. When I read your write-up, it looks as if you are not living on the planet Earth. It looks as if you are not living on the planet. You are living in a different planet altogether. When I read your comment, look at what you are writing. You are asking King David, your brother, what do you think Nigeria will gain by the time every Igbo person will be wiped out with Igbo land totally destroyed? He said, what do you think Nigeria will gain by the time every Igbo person will be wiped out with Igbo land totally destroyed? Will those in overseas come down to occupy the land? I don't know where this comment is coming from. I don't know the angle you're talking from. I can't just understand it. I don't know the angle you're coming from. Because you and I know that there is never a time Biafran people will be wiped away from Biafra land. I am here speaking for Biafra. I am not talking about the Igbo race, even though I am Igbo myself. But I'm speaking on behalf of Biafra people. So when you are addressing issue on my program, please talk as a Biafran. Don't attach that your ethnicity into it. I don't care your ethnic group. You might be Ijaw, Igbo, or whatever you are. Keep that your ethnicity aside. I'm speaking as a Biafran. And there is never a time, there will never ever be a time when Biafra will be wiped away from that contraction called Nigeria in their own land. They cannot be wiped away. Biafrans will retain their land, and no inch of Biafra land will be given away to the enemy. No inch of Biafra land will be given to the enemy. And when you are talking about the people in abroad coming to occupy Biafra land, occupy the land or whatever, I don't know where those talk is coming from. I don't know where the angle. I try to understand what you're writing and you write up. I can't just understand it. I can't understand it. Will those in overseas come down to occupy the land? Who are those you're talking about in overseas? It doesn't matter where a Biafran man is living, as long as you're a Biafran. Your home remains your home, your land remains your land, and nobody's going to take away our land from us. Nobody. Everybody have the right to travel to wherever you want to travel. You want to go be any place you want to be, you can visit any place you want to visit, but we will always return home. That is why we are Biafrans. We will always return home. No matter where we are, no matter what we earn, no matter where we occupy, we will always return back home to where we come from. And that is why we are protecting our land. That is why we are protecting our land with all our strength, with all our minds. We will do everything possible to protect our land. That is why we are calling on all Biafrans. Every Biafran, wherever you are, everybody have a role to play. You have a role to play if you are a Biafran. I have a role to play as a Biafran. And we have to continue to speak as Biafran people, not as Igbo. When we talk about Biafra, we are talking about the old southeastern region. The old southeastern region comprises of the present south and the southeast with the lower Benue. Any place where your mothers are tying two pieces of wrapper, these are Biafran people. We are from one ancestral parents and we are fighting for one thing, trying to defend our land. That is where we are. That is who we are. That is what I'm fighting for. I'm not here to speak about Igbo race, even though I'm Igbo. I'm not speaking about Igbo race. The platform I have is a platform where I defend Biafra, Biafran people. Where I call on Biafran people and encourage Biafran people to continue to fight the battle to get our freedom. After we must have gotten our freedom, then every region can be on their own. And remember, in Biafra land, there is no minority. We are the same people. From one ancestral parents, what we are asking for is for our common interest, which is freedom. Once we get our freedom, every little nation, every nation in Biafra land can stand on their own. It doesn't matter how many they are. They will be on their own. That is what we have to do. That is why I say, Ikechi, you might be a distraction. From your write-up, I see you are a distraction. You are just distracting yourself because you are not distracting me. All the comments you are writing is very laughable. When you are saying that activities are not going on in Afaruku, I don't know what you mean by that. That is why I say you are not living on this planet. You are living on a different planet. I don't know whom you are. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're writing. Addressing your messages is just a waste of time and waste of energy because you are not living on the same planet where I am living. You are not living on the same planet where Biafran people are living. I am speaking to Biafran people. I am not speaking to invisible people. I'm not speaking to people from another planet. I am speaking to Biafran people, and the people I'm speaking to knows what I'm talking about. I am addressing them, and they are getting my point. But for the IKEC or whatever you call yourself, I don't know the kind of name that is that. You are just a distractor, and you're not living on this planet. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know the country you belong to. I don't know your nation you belong to. I don't know whom you are. Whoever you are, please go back and begin to think about your own origin, where you belong. Think about where you belong. That is what you have to be concerned about. Stop being concerned about Biafran. If you're not a Biafran, don't be concerned about Biafran. Forget Biafran. We Biafrans know what we are looking for, and we will continue to fight. It is our own discussion. What we are doing here doesn't concern you if you're not a Biafran. It is for Biafran, for those who are fighting for self-determination, mainly Biafran people and our Oduduwa brothers. Oduduwa brothers, people of like manners. This is where we gather to exchange views and encourage each other. But from your right up, you are living from a different planet. You are living in a different planet from your questions. You say, brother David, could you please explain to us why there is no Biafra activities going on in Afaruku, the home of Nnamdi Kanu? This is one of the useless things I see, the most ridiculous thing I've had. The most ridiculous statement I have seen, whatever. What you're writing is the most ridiculous statement I've ever seen. The most ridiculous statement I have ever seen. It's just like somebody denying that there's no Biafra activities going in Biafra land. It's just like somebody saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is irrelevant. It's just like saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not doing anything for the Biafran struggle. It's just like saying that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped not because of Biafra. This is just what you are writing and what you're saying. And you are living in a different planet. You are living absolutely in a different planet. So, my dear brother, go and look for a nation where you belong, a nation where you have to have a role to play. Think about your own life or how to give yourself freedom. It doesn't matter where you are. If you are free, wherever you are, good for you. Try to develop yourself and improve yourself some more. For we Biafrans, we know our responsibility. It is our responsibility as Biafrans to get our freedom because we know that our land is an occupation. Our land is an occupation, just as Ukraine is being occupied today. Ukraine is an occupation. Biafra land is an occupation. And we cannot allow that. Every Biafran, wherever you are, you have to stand up and fight and make sure that we retrieve our land. We are going to retrieve our land from the enemy. No matter what they do, no matter what they say, no matter where they're coming from, we will retrieve our land from the enemy. We will retrieve our land from the enemy. And no inch of Biafran land will be left alone. They will be given out. We cannot give out any inch of our land. Today, it is very clear that Chuks is in charge of the struggle. Since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya and sent to Nigeria through extraordinary edition, it has been so clear and clearer that Chuks is in charge of the struggle. And every Biafran have to take responsibility of what is happening. Every Biafra, we have something to do. You have a responsibility, I have a responsibility to do something. Do not wait on anybody. Don't wait on anybody to fight for you. Don't wait on anybody to give any direction. Don't wait on anybody to speak for you. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was here with us, he was the spokesman for the Biafran person. He was the spokesperson of Biafran people. While Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was with us, he speaks to us directly. If anything happens in Biafran land, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out and address it. If anything happens in Biafran land, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will follow it up head on. But today, it is very clear that every man, we are on our own, pursuing the struggle and following through to make sure that we get our freedom. We are all on our own. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knew that today we come. That was why he prepared us before time. Before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, don't forget about the 150 days prayer that we made. That prayer wasn't a joke, even though many people did not engage in that prayer. So many people did not engage in the prayer. But those who were able to engage in that prayer today, they are the people who are standing strong and they are not confused. Because they are not waiting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to talk to them any longer, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has spoken directly to every one of us. Every question you are asking today have been answered by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu long time ago. He answered all the questions. Every single question you are asking today in the Biafran struggle, Mazen Nandi can have answered it. He told us, if you know what you can do to bring Biafra, go ahead and do it. And that time is now. If you know what you will do to bring Biafra, go ahead and do it. Mazen Nandi Kanu gave the leadership of Biafra, have handed everything over to Chuks Abiyama. And Chuks Abiyama today is raising people to fight for Biafra. Chuks Abiyama is raising people to fight for Biafra. Chuks Abiyama is raising people to fight for Biafra. And the fire is on. So if you're one of those who is still waiting for command from one place or the other, let me tell you, if you are watchful and you are sincere to yourself and you are working closely with Mazen Nandekano, you are spiritually inclined, you wouldn't be confused. You wouldn't be confused. You will know what to do. Because the truth is out there. The right information, when it comes out, you will know it. You don't have to be forced. You will know the right information when it comes. We know those who are truthful and those who are lying. Every black male have been debunked. You see it, every lie. People who are the evil ones are even confessing. So many of them are confessing. People who are pretending to be fighting for Biafra, who are not fighting for Biafra, they are confessing on different fronts. They are all confessing. That is it. In the case of Ukraine, what you have to learn, the most important thing you have to learn from the fight of Ukraine is for you to know that nobody is going to fight for you or give you freedom. It is you and I that will take our freedom by ourselves. We will take it. We will take our freedom by ourselves. Yes, Arewa Patrick, he say, we need guns and missiles, my brother. You see how Ukraine government, everyone gone, we can defend without guns. We must not count told us US we need guns. Yes, you are right, my brother Arewa Patrick. Arewa Patrick, actually, you are right. We need certain things to defend ourselves. We need something to defend ourselves. And in the provision of those things, we are already working towards that. We are already working towards that, and a lot of things are going to avail. Just watch closely, be watching closely, and do your own part. Do your own part. That is why you have to support ESN the best way you can. When we are talking about supporting ESN through the Umweri account, support the ESN. These are volunteers. You are not paying them. Nobody is paying any member of ESN. Nobody is paying any member of ESN. They are only beginning support. And the support they are giving them is provide the granite they are going to use. Provide the equipment that they need for them to secure the land. That is why the ESN are there. And that is why there is always call for support for ESN. There is support for ESN, calling for support. So everywhere you are, rise up and support the ESN the best way you can. You have no need that Biafran struggle is in our hand. It's in our hand. It's not in anybody's hand. Nobody anywhere is funding Biafra. Nobody. Nobody is funding IPOB or funding the struggle of Biafra. It is Biafran people by themselves that are funding it. And they are doing well. Biafran people are doing well. That is why we must get rid of those who are abusing that opportunity. We have to get rid of those who are making the Biafran struggle as a means of making money. Anybody that is making Biafran struggle as a means of getting money, get rid of that person, because it doesn't mean well for us. Biafrans need, just as my brother said, Biafrans need equipment to protect themselves. Every single penny Biafrans have now is to get equipment to protect ourselves. It is not to pay anybody. It is not to pay anybody to work for us. We are freedom fighters, and you have to do everything on your own. It's a volunteer force. Volunteer. If ESN will volunteer to fight on the ground for you and I, why must anybody be paid in IPOB to work for IPOB? If the men who are standing in the war front, the men who are standing in the front, taking the bullet on themselves, if they are volunteer force, fighting, why would anybody anywhere come out and begin to demand for anything? Why? Why? Why would anybody? Why would you support? The people who are on the ground, who are facing the bullet, are there. They are there fighting for you and I. Fighting for you and I without being paid. Voluntarily, they are doing it on their own. Voluntarily. And yet, somebody will be somewhere expecting us to pay him, collecting salary, Somebody will collect his salary. In a freedom fighting, it is not done anywhere. It is not the right thing to do. And such people, we must get rid of such people. Don't support such evil. It's an evil. It's evil. Taking blood money. Any money you are taking from the Biafran struggle to yourself is blood money. This is a money that people have died for. People have given their life for Biafra. A lot of people have given their life, and they are still giving their life. People are on the ground putting their life on the line. The ESN are fighting on a daily basis. Nobody is paying them. And yet somebody will come out and begin to talk trash. It is sad when you see the argument that people are talking about irrelevant things that are irrelevant. We are talking about our freedom. We are talking about our freedom. People are talking about irrelevant things, talking about their own personal interest, trying to distract people. Trying to distract people from doing the right thing. That is just you see, that is why I say there are some people, I don't know how long will it take people to know the right thing. How long will it take people to know the right thing? Look at one of the blackmailers. You call yourself Ikechi. I intentionally leave you and begin to watch what you are writing. I intentionally leave you to allow you continue to fool yourself. You call your name Ikechi or whatever. You are not even bold enough to put your picture. You are not even bold enough to use your real name. You can't even be bold enough to appear on a platform and debate or defend what you are saying. These are how you know the blackmailers. You see a blackmailer, you see one of the blackmailers here. Even he doesn't have a picture, go to that platform that you're using now. You go and check his page now. You will see that the page is empty. There is nothing in that page. He's only a distractor. He's only a distractor. That Mazen Dandekano is forcing you to be a Jew. When did Mazen Dandekano force you to be a Jew? Where did you see Mazen Dandekano forcing Biafra people to be Jews? Where? Haven't you heard Mazen Dandekano several times tell that Igbo race is the oldest race in the planet Earth? Haven't you heard it from Mazen Dandekano? Haven't you heard Mazen Dandekano saying that the Igbo language is the oldest language? You haven't heard it from Mazen Dandekano? Haven't you heard that? Haven't you heard Mazen Dandekano saying that the Igbo race is the oldest race in the planet Earth? How can he be telling you that Igbo language is the oldest language and the language spoken in heaven? And then you will now claiming that he is turning you to Jew. Are you not insane? This is to show how stupid you are. Mazen Dandekano that will come and tell you about the Igbo race and tell you how Igbo race started. There are many programs here. Mazen Dandekano have hosted programs. Tell you that Igbo race is the oldest tribe, the oldest race, the oldest language on the planet Earth. Mazen Dandekano will go to the center of telling you that Igbo race, you say the Igbo is the language of heaven. Igbo language is language of heaven. And when Mazen Dandekano is praying, he prays in Igbo language. He prays in Igbo language. He prays in Igbo language. Mazen Dandekano prays in Igbo language. And now you say that Mazen Dandekano is telling you to. When did Mazen Dandekano tell you to go and learn Jews? If Mazen Dandekano religion, if you begin to practice his religion in different path, does he stop you? Did Mazen Dandekano stop you from going to your own way to practice what you want to practice? What about people who are Christians? Those who are Christians, what do you say about them? The traditionalists, what do you say about them? Are you going to force people to be what they are not? Nobody is forcing you anywhere. Nobody is forcing you to be a Jewish, or nobody is forcing you to be following Judaism. Nobody is forcing you to follow Christianity. Nobody is forcing you to follow tradition. You have the freedom. That is why we are talking about freedom. No sensible person who is sensible can be writing this thing that this Ike or whatever you call yourself is writing. We are talking about freedom here. When you talk about freedom, you have to be freedom in all levels. You have the freedom to practice any religion you want to practice. You are free to practice it. You are free to practice it. And you said Mazen Dandekano registered Igbo as his own private company. These are the blackmailers. You blackmail somebody without an evidence, without something to prove. You can't even defend it. Even the way you write it, anybody that reads it will laugh at you. Any real Igbo man that reads what you are writing will laugh at you. You will know that you are insane. You will know that you are insane. These are the kind of people we see. We see them every day on different. Sometimes you just allow them to continue to disgrace themselves. You just allow them to bring their stupidity to the public so that people can see the kind of things we are facing. That is why sometimes when we see them, we give them some time to fool themselves. You give them some time to fool themselves and showcase their stupidity. After they must have showcased their stupidity, you let them go. These are the kind of people who will never learn. They will never learn and they will never grow. These are the kind of people we are talking against. They are everywhere. You see people who claim to be Biafran people. Look at somebody in a freedom. When we are talking about freedom, everybody has to be free in all angles. Nobody is going to force you to do anything. Mazen Nandekan have said this several times. He said this several times that you are free to practice any religion you desire to practice. You can practice anything you want. If you want to worship God, it's up to you. It's up to you and your own God. But Mazen Nandekan have chosen him and his own family. We worship Chuks and live in heaven. And so many of us have done the same. That is why Mazen Nandekan will always remind us that he doesn't worship idol. He doesn't worship idol. He worships Chuks who live in heaven. And he prays to Chuks, not in Hebrew language, not in a foreign language. He prays in Igbo language. He prays in Igbo language. You are free to worship anything you want to worship. Do anything you want to. It is up to you. It is up to you. It is your own business. Master Dan is not forcing anybody. But you see this people pushing this blackmail, pushing this propaganda, pushing these lies. And some people are believing them. Some fools are listening to them. Some are using that same argument and coming up. You'll be wondering from which planet are these people coming from? Which planet are they living? But I'm not surprised. Because the enemy is awake. And we are hitting them hard. They have lost touch. They have lost evidence. They have lost comfort in their state. They have lost sleep. So they are fighting, touching on irrelevant things. Just trying to hold hand anywhere they can. But Chuks is controlled. Chuks is controlled. I will never let that effort. Each time I come here, I come to speak for Biafran people. I am an Igbo Biafran. But it's much, much better for me to speak about Biafra. When I'm talking about Biafra, I'm talking about everybody living in the old Southeastern region. We are all one people. It doesn't matter your tribe, your location. We are one people. And the most important thing for us now is to fight for our collective interest, freedom. We must get our freedom. We will fight for ourselves and free ourselves. Nobody's going to free us. Thank you so much for watching. Any place you're watching from, I say, may Chuks guide and protect you, secure you and prosper you. Anybody that is watching this video, share the video in your platform, share it anywhere you belong, share it in your WhatsApp group, share it, let people get the message straight. We have to free ourselves. Nobody can free us. Only we and we alone can free us and free Mazen Nandekan. Civil disobedience, continue to engage in it. Sit at home on Sunday and on Monday. Economic sanction to the Janjaweed in that country called Nigeria. Don't give your revenue to the local government, federal government, or state government. Don't give your revenue to them. And prepare yourself to cripple every production, every oil production in Biafra land. We have to stop them. The time is now. The time is now. As the West are hoping to get their gas from Biafra land, this is the time for us to hit them hard. They must listen to us, and they will. Thank you for watching wherever you're watching from. And remember, let's see you again tomorrow by the special grace of Chuks. Stay blessed. Bye.